we have such a small, like, boxed in perspective of what, like, traveling and still making money while you travel needs to look like. I was having a conversation with my sister today, kind of like bouncing off of ideas about how I'm going to go back to Guatemala, how I'm still going to make ends meet, how I'm still going to make money, how I could do this and not be like reckless. I've been looking for remote work, as we've been talking about here, trying to make this a possible thing to do. I know that my heart is calling me to travel like long term, and you know, just trying to figure out how to make that feasible for somebody that's not just like straight out of high school or straight out of college with no debt and no like loans and no car and no life like somewhere. And having this conversation really like left me feeling like we just have a small perspective of what that needs to look like. We think that it needs to look like having some sort of like super successful online business, being a content creator, being like a, you know, like, but the ideas that we were kind of bouncing back and forth like made me realize it can look entirely different. Like helping people like with photography, going around and being a photographer for tourists like I would be, to, you know, take photos of them in high like destination spots for Instagram or for whatever. Help them create their content. Host group trips while you're there, and it doesn't need to look like this big extravagant resort type of group trip. I'm talking about like posting on Airbnb experiences or booking.com or Trivago and like finding something to do that day that you bring a group of people with, or for like a couple of days, or just find work there. I happen to like come across the fact that this amazing hostel that I love so much is actually hiring and like giving discounts for the stays, like if you want to stay there while you work in like the central of Guatemala, and that's a feasible possibility too. I think we see that, you know, people are making money this certain way or making this much money in traveling, and we think that it needs to look the same way, when really it can look like so many different things once you actually have the conversation with somebody else that has gone through that experience, or just has another idea to widen your perspective from what you were seeing all over the internet all the time. So another update on this, I'm going to be trying these methods out. I applied for that job at the hostel. I'm going to be posting experiences and helping out with photography and just seeing if it gains any traction. A lot of that stuff kind of has to be done while I'm there, but I'm going to start like toying around with the idea of what that's going to look like and if that's feasible. And I actually have a lot of photography skills and video skills, and I have a really nice camera, and there's no reason why it couldn't be. And I want you to like think to yourself, if you have something out there that you want to go tackle, whether it be something similar to like what I'm dealing with right now, can these methods apply to you? Is there like a resource or an idea that you are just not seeing?